So as I've been sitting with this kind of, you know, past memories, just instead of scrolling on social media, I sit in a meditative state and I just revisit memories from the past. I'm realizing that it's actually kind of challenging to go back far, like to the very early time of my life. And this is usually a result of trauma. Oftentimes, when somebody experiences trauma, they have a hard time remembering childhood memories. And this has been absolutely incredible for my healing process. But just like sitting with everything and like, you know, I actually realized I revisited a memory the other day and I realized that I completely forgot that it happened. And this could have to do with, dissociation. It could have to do with pushing out pain, which I think is a defense mechanism. It's just very interesting how I'm realizing that maybe there's only so far as of right now, based on this level of awareness that I have, that I can go back. But I think that the more that I sit with memories and just continue to dive into them and recognize what it was I was feeling or how dissociated I was, it's going to be very beneficial to kind of like see how that transforms the dynamics of how far I can go back, how much of memories I can remember, details and everything. The cool and interesting thing here regarding memories, your imagination in general, right, is that the body can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. Um, and so therefore going back into this is why people can heal. You can go back into memories and stuff and it'll be triggering, right? So you sit with the uncomfortable thoughts and you breathe through the triggers and stuff, but the body relives it. This is why healing is very challenging, is because you get triggered and then you sit with this stuff and all that stuff happens and this, that, and the other. But it's so interesting because what I'm realizing right now is like it's not so much my ability to sit with this stuff that's challenging, but my ability to go far back and like fully remember is actually kind of challenging. It's strange because um yeah, I've got a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of shit. I've experienced a lot of shit and stuff and it's like, you know, at this point I'm comfortable enough to sit with the things, right? And allow the thoughts to arise, allow the feelings to arise and stuff. Breathe through triggers as necessary, right? Um but just my capacity to remember the earlier part of my life, right? Um, Trauma has a tendency to, I would argue, I think that it's a defense mechanism, but creates defense mechanisms within us that, you know, blocks stuff out as a result of pain. I think that a majority of this is a result of pain. Trauma sucks. But at the same time, like, when you realize how much aware or when you realize how aware you are of everything, it's really cool. Like where I'm at now, even last year, 2022, I became more aware of myself than ever before. And it allowed me just like. I think that it started in 2021 and then kind of like blossomed out into 2022. Um, just growth, evolution, self awareness, digging into my trauma in a professional setting, of course. Um, just how far back I can kind of like go. That's what's interesting to me now. Because, again, as a result of trauma, defense mechanisms are created that shut things out because of how painful things can be. Trauma is painful. If you are abandoned, it's painful. If you are, abused, it's painful. I mean, abandonment is abuse, as far as I'm aware. But like, it's painful. The marring is fucking painful. And then you live your life believing that you're this fucking disfigured, I don't know, thing. And you carry the guilt, you carry the shame, you carry all that stuff. And then at some point, you start to see it more clearly. And it's kind of like, oh, okay. And then as that awareness grows and expands, you start to see it with a new level of awareness. And you realize that it wasn't your fault. But just sitting with and trying to like put the puzzle pieces together and see things in more detail is very interesting. And the more you do it, the more it. I'm pretty sure that memory is being built or rebuilt, but also it's just beneficial for healing. Um, I know that this is probably something that's not very popular. You know, people would probably just rather, I don't know, um, distract themselves from it. But it's really beneficial to do this. It's really beneficial to just sit with everything. Turn the TV off, put your phone away, don't eat. Just be with what is. It changes the dynamics of everything moving forward. Um, the more you dive into your psyche, your subconscious, the more you see yourself. And yeah, it's a wild journey. Very dynamic.